Pierce Dandridge writes, question, do actors get paid extra to do reshoots, and are they contractually obligated to do reshoots?
I think it really all depends on the contract, I suppose. I think in a standard thing, look, you sign to do a thing, you get an outline about when the shooting's going to be, you work all that kind of stuff out. And then I think if you have to go back for anything extensive, you probably got to work out something with the production company. It's probably nothing too complicated or too convoluted. It's probably as straightforward as it sounds.
I think it's the same. I think you're right. I think it's just a matter of knowing, like you said, what Marvel does. They know that there's a possibility they're going to reshoot. It's probably in it. Just you will have to be available at some point to do reshoots. If you book another movie or whatever it is, we'll work around that. But we have to make sure you're available for it. It's probably, I don't think they get paid extra. I think it's part of the contract.
Well, it's probably in the contract, right? That, okay, you're signed on to do Captain America 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's what your contract spans. But, you know, if you have to come back again outside of when we planned on shooting and do a couple of reshoots, we agree that you will be paid an extra, $50 an hour.
Yeah, they definitely get extra money. There's no way like anyone would be like, look, I'll come back as many times as you need me to. Like, cause they're scheduling all these other movies, so they have to be like, look, we have you for this, we have you for these little reshoots, and then if we have an additional like this, a bigger reshoot. I bet Tom Hiddleston wasn't planning on coming back and doing Loki. They're like, look, dude, we need you. So here's that extra gravy and come back. And
it's probably not like $10 million. No, it's probably a reasonable rate. Here you go for a couple of days.
It's better than SAG minimum. I mean, it's like those guys are getting some flavor. So, they're like, where am I flying to? Where are you putting me up? And I get to be Loki again? Yeah. And I get this big bundle of money? Yeah. So.
All right, what's next?
Patrick Ward writes, what do you think is the funniest Will Ferrell comedy? Mine would personally be Blades of Glory. Thanks, guys.
I actually didn't like Blades of Glory myself, but I know a lot of my friends who really, really do. To me, it always comes down, he's got a lot of very funny ones. To me, it always comes down to two. And depending on the day you ask me, I give a different answer. The one is obviously Anchorman. That is is so funny. But I think more times than not, I will actually lean towards Step Brothers. I can watch Step Brothers every day for a year straight and laugh my head off every single time. It wasn't tremendously received by critics. I still actually know some people that don't even like it. Fine. For whatever reason, for me, Step Brothers and their movie quality Chewbacca masks have me every single time. Schnepp, what about you? What's your favorite Ferrell film?
Anchorman.
Yeah,
hands down, Anchorman. And even though I saw the weird edition that they put out with Chuck D from Public Enemy, like the extra, like here's the Anchorman that we didn't put in the movie.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, and it's pretty horrible. It's like the outtakes that they assembled into a second movie. And I was like, I remember that came out, I was like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. It's just not really that funny. It's all the scenes that didn't make it into the film for a specific reason, and weird subplots and stuff that they had to cut out, which is normally what happens. They're like, you cut them out for a reason, but they put it together, and it was kind of fun to see all these people who had cameos that didn't make it into the movie, stuff like that. But that didn't diminish what Anchorman was for me, which was one of the funniest comedies I've ever seen.
Christian, your favorite?
Old School. I loved Old School.
A lot of people love Old School.
I love Old School. For me, it was his first kind of movie that, I know he had done the Night of the Roxbury, I guess, movie as well, too, but that was the one that, from his transition to Saturday Night Live, that really made me go, oh, this guy is a comedy force, is Frank the Tank. And, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. That whole thing is out of control. And it also had Vince Vaughn kind of stepping back into the comedy and took them back into that route. So it's one that it's on TV, I just stop and I watch it. It's really funny.
All right, let's take one more.
Juan Vizala writes, what movie do you think has been most affected by not sticking to their source material? Love you guys.
Oh, that's a great question.
Most affected? Last Airbender. Effective. Yeah. No,
Last Airbender was very effective at not sticking, but
I thought that was the initial question.
That didn't stick to its source material, but was still really, really super effective. Well, I mean, there were 2 movies this year alone. I mean, when you're talking about Captain America: Winter Soldier and X-Men: Days of Future Past, X-Men: Days of Future Past. Like, if you know the comic books, you know that, hey, there's the title and there's a couple of the characters. Yeah. Other than that, totally different thing. And those are 2 great examples. Let me think another minute about some older ones about that. Can you guys think of anything out the top of your head?
No.
Well, I mean, look, we could, if we're going to just talk about superhero genre films, we could use Spider-Man 2 as an example. It's it's basically the character of Dr. Octopus
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Sorry. You know, but it's like a totally different origin. You know, everything about the script is like it's not from the comics. There's just the characters and the settings are from the comic books. Like, hey, there's Aunt May. You know, she's in the comic. Peter's living with Aunt May, or then the next year he's in college. But you know, it's sort of like they put the settings in there and then they just completely give it its filmic, cinematic twist.
Yes,
So.
but will the Aunt May movies stay to the source material?
I
That's
certainly
the question.
hope they jump away from the source material. Yeah.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.